Chapter 3: The Gathering Storm. A desperate gamble. The flickering candlelight cast long, dancing shadows across the worn map spread out on the rough-hewn table. Gia traced the jagged lines demarcating the borders of the warring territories, her brow furrowed in concentration. Lysander, seated beside her, watched her with a mixture of admiration and apprehension. The weight of their decision pressed heavily upon them, a palpable tension hanging in the air thick enough to cut with a knife. Their love, a defiant flame against the backdrop of centuries-old hatred, had sparked the revolution of hope. But hope alone wouldn't win this war. They needed a decisive blow, a strategic gamble that could shatter the enemy's resolve once and for all. The Sunstone's supply lines, Gia murmured, her finger lingering on an arrow, winding path snaking through the treacherous mountains. If we disrupt them at the Obsidian Pass, their army will be crippled. They'll be forced to retreat, leaving their southern territories vulnerable. Lysander nodded, his gaze unwavering. A bold strategy, my love, but also a perilous one. The Obsidian Pass is heavily guarded. Their elite forces are positioned there, expecting an attack. He paused, his eyes searching hers. The risk is immense. Failure could mean the annihilation of our alliance. Gia met his gaze, her eyes reflecting the same fierce determination that burned in his. We can't afford to wait for them to strike first. We must seize the initiative. We've rallied the troops, inspired hope among the people, and our allies stand with us. Now, we must show them the strength of our resolve. Their plan was audacious, bordering on reckless. It hinged on a series of carefully orchestrated diversions and a daring nighttime assault on the Obsidian Pass. The Nightshade coven, known for their potent magic and stealth, would serve as the vanguard, using illusions and misdirection to draw the Sunstone's attention away from the main attack. The Sylvan Kingdom's archers, renowned for their accuracy, would provide long-range support, while the Silent Watch, masters of infiltration and subterfuge, would infiltrate the Sunstone's rear guard, creating chaos and confusion. The success of their plan depended on perfect timing and flawless execution. A single slip-up could unravel their entire strategy, plunging them into a devastating defeat. The risks were monumental. The Nightshade Coven, their numbers already depleted by years of fighting, would be risking their very existence. The Sylvan Kingdom, still recovering from recent setbacks, stood to lose significant military strength. Even the Silent Watch, their ranks filled with seasoned warriors, faced a high probability of losses. But the greatest risk was Gia and Lysander themselves. They were planning to be at the heart of the assault, leading the charge into the Obsidian Pass. The Sunstone leadership, aware of their influence and the potent threat they represented, would undoubtedly be focusing their efforts on eliminating them. They would be walking into a death trap, surrounded by enemy soldiers and potentially facing the full force of the Sunstone's deadliest magic. Days turned into sleepless nights as they meticulously refined their strategy. Gia spent hours poring over ancient texts, searching for forgotten spells that could enhance their defenses and bolster their chances of survival. Lysander, with his tactical genius, painstakingly mapped out every possible scenario, anticipating the enemy's responses and developing contingency plans to counteract any unforeseen challenges. They worked tirelessly, the intensity of their preparation a testament to their unwavering determination. The very air crackled with anticipation as the day of their assault approached. The morale of their combined forces was at an all-time high, fueled by the shared belief in their leadership and the courage of their cause. Soldiers, weary from years of fighting, found a renewed sense of purpose in their mission, driven by a hope for a future they could finally envision. They knew this was a gamble, a desperate risk, but they were willing to stake everything on this one final push. Gia and Lysander, amidst the preparations, sought solace in each other's arms. The gravity of their situation weighed heavily on them, yet their love remained a steadfast beacon in the encroaching darkness. They knew the potential cost, the immense sacrifice they were about to make, but they were ready to face it together, their hearts entwined in a bond as strong as the ancient magic that flowed through their veins. In the quiet moments before the storm, they reaffirmed their commitment, their love serving as a constant source of strength and resilience. They had already defied expectations, their love story a tale of defiance against insurmountable odds. Now, they were about to embark on their most daring act yet, a final, desperate gamble to end the conflict once and for all. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but their love, their unwavering hope, their shared vision of a peaceful future, would guide them through the storm. The night of the assault arrived shrouded in darkness, the sky a canvas of brooding clouds. The wind howled through the mountains, carrying with it a sense of foreboding, a symphony of fear and anticipation. But amidst the chaos, Gia and Lysander stood firm, their eyes gleaming with unwavering resolve. They were ready to face the storm, to stake everything on this one desperate gamble. Their love, a powerful force that had already defied expectations, now stood as their most potent weapon, a beacon of hope amidst the gathering darkness. The first wave of the attack was flawlessly executed, the Nightshade coven weaving their magic, creating illusions of massive armies and diverting the Sunstone's attention. The Sylvan Kingdom's archers rained down a barrage of arrows, picking off the enemy's scouts and disrupting their formations. As planned, the Silent Watch infiltrated the enemy's rearguard, sowing chaos and confusion. The Sunstone army, disoriented and outnumbered, found themselves struggling to maintain their defenses. Yet, as the main assault began, the full force of the Sunstone's resistance was unleashed upon Gia and Lysander. Their love remained their greatest strength, their unwavering faith in each other helping to navigate the chaos, but the battle was fierce and unrelenting. They fought with the ferocity of cornered lions, their magic intertwining, creating a force that repelled the enemy's attacks. Despite their combined power, their allies were suffering heavy losses, casualties mounting. As they pushed deeper into the Obsidian Pass, they encountered more resistance, soldiers fighting to defend their position with unmatched intensity. The gamble had pushed their alliance to its very limit, testing the endurance and resilience of every soldier. The outcome hung precariously in the balance, the fate of their world resting on their shoulders. The desperation of the battle was palpable, the fight for survival brutally real. But amidst the destruction, Gia and Lysander continued to fight, driven by their hope for a future free from violence and war. Their love story, once a symbol of defiance, was now shaping the destiny of their entire world. The battle raged on, a relentless clash of wills, a desperate gamble for peace. The final outcome still unknown, hanging in the balance, suspended in the violent winds of war.